Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. In this case, good evening to you, Solène. I'm just so excited to be in conversation with you. Thank you so much for making time to join us for the inaugural Black Women Creatives in Sports Summit. How are you doing today?
Hi, Polly. Hi, everyone. I'm a bit sick, but I'm super excited to do this. Honestly, it's a real pleasure to be here and be talking about work and have been perceived by so many amazing women and so many to come still. So let's do
No, no. And I feel so bad because what people don't know, what we were talking about before we got started was Celine was also at the World Championships with Maria Grunak, one of our other panelists, and they both got sick afterwards. I feel so bad. So again, I thank you. I really appreciate you for still taking the time to pour into this space. So again, I'm really excited to be here with you. For those who may not know, Solène Decosta is a France-based sports photographer whose work captures some of the most powerful and emotional moments in athletics, from global stages like the Olympics to competitions across track and field, football, and flag football. Her work is not only technically incredible, but deeply human. And today we'll get into her journey, her creative process, and what it means to show up in this industry as a woman and as a Black woman. So, again, Celine, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for
To
having
start us off, because I know I read that you started photography in 2017. Is that correct?
this.
Yes, yes. And it's so crazy because it's like for me, I'm like, wait, that's just what? That's not even 10 years ago. Like, that's just so incredible to see how far you've come in just 7 years, 8 years. My math is terrible, but not even a decade. So, can you take us back to 2017? What first drew you into sports photography and what made you stay?
Okay, well, the story starts in 2016 actually, because I was working for Air France at the time, the airline, and I was actually on holiday, but I was working at the press office, and my boss says, I know you're on holiday, but do you mind coming back to work just for one day because the athletes are coming back from Rio, from the Olympics, and we would like to have some pictures for the Air France Twitter account. Of course, I go. Of course. And whenever the athletes came out of the plane and I saw like the press, I saw the people that were supposed to be working on the in the airport be like amazed, have stars in their eyes, and be like, "Oh my God, thank you!" Clapping, saying, "Oh my God, thank you so much for." I'm sorry, for the medals, for the show, for the emotions. I started thinking maybe something is up with sports. And I was a photographer before. I was still finishing my studies, but I had a camera for a few years. And that's when one thing led to another, and I considered track and field. I've never done track and field. I got my doctor to sign me a paper saying that I couldn't participate in track and field actually in school. And I'm here shooting it like for almost 10 years now. But I started like getting into the club from the city I was, and I one day sent a DM to Ladji Doucouré, who is now a retired 110 hurdles champion, and he was now coaching. And because he has an association, like a charity kind of thing, who takes track and field and especially sprints to neighborhood where soccer would be more famous, and giving them the chance to, okay, say you have 60 meters, go and run, and who's the fastest, and blah 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 blah. So I DM him and says, "Can I come and take pictures?" And says, "Yeah, of course." And that's how I started really being into sports photography.
That is so crazy. I did not know that. That's amazing. So was there like a particular moment where you felt like, okay, yeah, this is it. Like I I need to stick with this and not just stick with it because you love it, but how do I turn this into my career?
Um, Well, this has been a bit weird for the first few years because I was finishing my studies. I have a master degree in um, uh, business and marketing, so you would expect me to go like in a traditional path of having a 9 to 5 and having a job that requires those 5 years post graduation. But at the moment I graduated, I was like, okay, I did my job. Why not try for photography? And I'm not gonna lie, the struggle was like a bit present. You just start in the business, and really in France, it's a white male dominated field, kind of old men. So you can just like barge in and expect to be welcomed and have like arms wide open. And I felt it, and my female colleagues, black or white or whatever, they also feel it. So today is a bit more okay, and people are a bit more relaxed with that. But at first, it was really hard. So I like wanted to get into photography, but I still had that one job on the side that was purely out of necessity, right? I just needed like money to survive or thrive. And 2023, I couldn't take it anymore. I felt like I missed on opportunities and jobs because I couldn't leave the office job. And well, the Olympics were just around the corner, so I said, you know what? Bye. I'm out. And I left. And well, I've been 100% in the photography for like, well, 2 years, 2 full years. I'm on my third year, but I was already doing professional stuff when I was still juggling with the two jobs.
No, you said so many things there that definitely speak to what a lot of our members go through. I mean, even one of our panelists this morning, Danielle, she's based in London, and she was speaking about like when she's in these spaces, she already knows that she's already probably the only woman, only Black woman, but also the fact that when you are to your point of like they're not gonna like open be like hey well like to your point of that like they are not like and for some it's systematic like for some it's intentional for some it's what you were saying was like it's purposefully still that way because they truly have that old guard mentality and she was even making a point of like when you see it, it's like the older white men and not even the younger white men. They don't even let them in the club sometimes too. And it's so interesting that how that is, and just not even just internationally, but also it's still the same way here for us in the States. So when you are navigating these spaces, where I feel like you are probably underestimated in what you do. How do you advocate for yourself, and what would your advice be for others who are going through something similarly, especially those of our members who are based internationally too?
Um, Honestly, just it's really like very common, but do not give up. You are allowed to be here. You are not less important than anyone else, like waiting with their camera in hands. You belong here, and if you are given a media pass or a credential, you're allowed to be here. So just do your thing. I mean, there's always rules, like do not cross, do not this. You just need to respect that. But you are allowed to be here, and no one is more important than you. Um, what I did, if I take a look back to my first photo pass to now, is at first I would not be following the advice that I just gave. I would be really trying to get the tiniest version of myself, not speaking to people. I would not speak to people. I would just be, okay, forget about me, forget about me. Just, I'm not here. You don't see me. I don't exist. Just leave me alone. And I would not like, are you still here?
Yes, yes, I'm still
Oh,
here.
sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. I would just not want people to notice me in a way because I figure that if they don't notice me, they can come at me and be like, okay, what are you doing here? What are you working for? Let me see your job. Oh, that's bad.
Mhm.
Oh, this is not good, blah, blah. So I would not want to be noticed. And thing is, I just at one point decided that I'm here and you gonna have to deal with me, whatever you
Yeah.
want, whatever I'm just here. And so, when you're at the finish line for the 100 meters and you have all the old guys with their big sunscreen, not sunscreen, yeah, sunscreen, around their cameras and just like
Mm.
bouncing the sunscreen over your head. I would just say, my head is here. If you keep bouncing it, I'm going to have to break your your gear because
Yes.
there's no way you can come and just like bump that thing on my head or when men come and grab
Crazy.
you, when you're shooting and they come and literally grab you like, no, you're not doing this. This is not happening. So
Oh my
stand
God.
there, stand your ground and be proud to be here and everything is going to be fine. And I
I
still say
cannot,
that to myself today, like everything is going to be fine. You're allowed to be here. Enjoy.
I just cannot get over the fact that they would like actually hit your head.
That's because that's what they do with their male
Wow.
colleagues. That they would just be like, "Oh, okay, I need to be
Uh,
here." Okay, you need to be here, but so do
mm-mm.
I.
Exactly, exactly. You touched on that. You just mentioned about like the credentials, um, and getting that first credential. What steps did you take to get that? Because I just feel like for so many, especially those who are freelancers like yourself, like getting the access to actually be in those spaces is hard. So how did you get access to those major events so early in your career, like the Olympics?
Well, first, if I started with like training for a few athletes of the club that I of the city I lived in. Then I moved to Golden Blocks, which is the Lagi Ducouré thing. And then I started applying for like track and field meets, French track and field meets. And I think that the trick that helped me was that my Instagram handle has agency in it. So people think that I'm an agency when I just was freelancing and wanted to, you know, have make a name for myself. And that's during one of those track meets that I met one of the guys of Stadion Actu, which is a media that I've been working with for a long time. And the first time I meet them, they say, what do you want? Where do you want to go?" And I say, "Oh, I would love to go to the World Championships," and it was 2019. And they said, "Okay, you're gonna go." I was like, "We don't know each other. You don't know what I do." And say, "You said you wanted to, and we've seen your work, so go ahead." And they took me to Doha. So
Oh, that is amazing. But I
yeah,
mean, there's like, see, that's just a perfect reminder of the fact that you actually have to speak for what you want. Like, you have to let it be known what you want to do. People
yeah.
can't just assume. You have to tell people that this is what I want, and you never know how they can help you get there. That is incredible.
Honestly, I feel like for me, it has been a lot of luck and being at the right place at the right time. Let's say I told my boss in 2016, you know what, I'm on a holiday, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
End of the
yeah,
story. I would have never noticed how people react to athletes and like the emotions and this and that.
yeah.
Because I would watch sports on TV, but I was not an athlete. I was not like going to the stadiums that much, anything. So it starts with that. I say yes, then bam, the DM, he says yes, boo, boo, boo. And right place, right time, a lot of luck. And I'm here today.
How do you continue to nurture those relationships that you've established? What advice would you give about building those relationships whether it's with other editors or brands or organizations, just to be able to continue to work with them year after year?
Well, first thing, it's not easy. It's not easy because, we have a lot of, I'm gonna say competition, but it's just that there's a lot of photographers who may have cheaper rates, who may be willing to work for free, who will uh, go the extra mile to have your position. And well, de depending on where you are in your career, I feel like you may have the will to fight, really fight for it, or just say, you know what, maybe I took someone's spot too, so go ahead. I don't mind, and I can move on to something else. So it's really complicated, and sometimes, you get to be friends with other people, and you don't know if, well, if your client comes to me and I don't go to him, but if he comes to me, would you still be my friend? So it's
Right,
really
right.
hard. I mean, like, I have one real good friend who's Gaga Stuff on Instagram. She's really great, and I know the one person that I can count on for everything. So I know that with her, I wouldn't have this type of conversation like, "Do you mind if blah blah blah?" Because we're always trying to work together. So that's where we get along really well. 'Cause we work together, and with other, I like them, and that's not a conversation, but it's always touchy when it comes to who are you working for, what are you doing, blah blah. So
You just have to find your people. You do. You have to find your tribe to be able to have those like, you know, I guess uncomfortable conversations. Although it shouldn't be uncomfortable, but it still is. It still
yeah,
is.
especially in France, because it's really like here people don't like to pay for like for photos. Meanwhile in the US, people would be like, okay, what's your rate? How much do you want to be paid? Blah blah blah. Here
Mhm.
it's, can you come? Well, yeah, of course I can come and take pictures, but how much are you willing to pay? And then nobody answers, or they come back to you like the day before, like, we need you. Yeah, but how much are you willing to pay? And
Right.
the conversation about like money and clients is really, really hard to have in France. So
So while we're on that, then how do you find yourself, like, how do you sustain yourself in that way then? Because I know you said you left your job at Air France to pursue photography at freelance.
I mean, when I left Air France, it was also because I was getting it at the end of my studies. So that was
Okay,
a
I
job that
see.
I had while doing my degree. So at the end of it, I was like, I'm gonna miss it, but I want to go and see something else. I want to do more, blah 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 blah. And then I found another job that was very boring, just to be polite. Um, And well, I'm not gonna lie, the struggle is real, as the young people say today with just photography, but I do not give up. I thought about it. I thought about it because I was like, I have a degree. What am I doing? I have a degree. Why am I struggling here and crying, waiting for people to reach out or whatever? But whenever I go back to it, because whether it's for flag football or whether it's for track and field, whenever I go back to it, I'm like, yeah, I like it. I
Yeah,
like it. I feel like, I mean, that's my job. People get to say, "Oh, I had 3 meetings today. What did you do today?" "Oh,
right.
I shot world champion." "Oh, okay. Well, so I get the chance that I have to be calling this my job, and I know some people don't understand it, but I'm not giving up. I have a real good hope that people would be more thoughtful about being a photographer in France and the necessity to have one, and not only rely on interns or like people that say, "Oh, I have an iPhone, I can do the same thing." That, okay, go ahead
Right, right.
and call me back.
I love that. We have a question here. This person asks, even though you know you deserve your place, despite all these old white male photographers' attitudes, how do you manage when photo editors are the ones discriminating against you and you are the best? Heart.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, actually, it was not a photo editor, but it was a photo manager, and it was never proven that my skin color was the problem. But for the first time, and still well, I was not gonna say the last time because I saw him again and things were weird still. But 2 years ago, I had a situation where I was the only person of color with a media pass. So, in the press center, it was a bit like, hi, hi guys. So I was the only one, and I needed to speak to that photo manager for a lot of stuff, and he wouldn't acknowledge me. Like my friend would say, "Oh, so this is my colleague," and he would look straight into her eyes. I was like,
Wow.
"Oh, hi, bonjour, hi, hello," and he wouldn't like turn his
Oh,
head to look at me.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, and at that moment, I was like, "This is not happening. No, nope. There's no way this is happening. Like this is 2024,
Right,
and
right,
this is not possible." And you would never be vocal about, oh, that's because you are different or this or that. This is why I'm not like looking at you. And I had no proof. It was my friends and I words against the whole world at that point. And another time he would come and like bumped like pretty violently into my shoulder because we were crossing something. And it didn't even like look back to
oh my gosh.
yeah. And at the end of it, I was really drained emotionally. Like we have we're tired from working the hours and this, but when you add the emotional tiredness to it, it was all like a big, like it was my worst, to this day, it was my worst working experience. And that when I say I do not always follow my advice, this was one of the times because I was miserable. My friend had to say, "Oh no, this is not happening. We're not living it like that." And like, yo, what can I do? It's what can I
Yeah,
do? It's literally maybe because how I am, and I'm the only one, so I cannot compare to someone else's experience and this and that. So. Well, when it's for to go back to the question, when it's your photo manager or editor making you feel differently or lesser, uh, just like, don't let it go to your head. Don't let it go to your head. And, you never know. I ended up winning Black Woman Photographer of the Year that year. So it was,
yes,
just
yes, yes.
so yeah, when honestly, this one was really special because I was like, okay, so you wanted to bring me down, and look, I get awarded for that, for what you didn't like.
Exactly.
So honestly, take the weight off it and just try not to get too in your emotions because it won't serve you. And do not hesitate to report any behavior if you are capable of having proofs, because that's why I wasn't capable of, because I was told go and report him. I was like, but I can say it's just me and my friend, so it's
Yeah.
gonna say, oh, they're lying. Who are you? Do I know you? No, because you never look at me.
It's just so interesting the things that we have to do. Like you said, it's so exhausting. You know, you sharing that instance reminds me of like one of my earliest memories working in sports. But like you said, you can't let it you can't let it stop you for what you are wanting to do. But it does it really sucks because it's just taxing, it's exhausting dealing with these things. But one of my earliest memories is I was working as a production assistant. So the school I went to, University of Oregon, they had this cool like pipeline program where students can work with different networks, like as a production assistant. So I was working within sports, football and basketball, and I'd be like the one getting people's coffee at like 4 a.m. on game days, like those kind of things, like the grunt work. But I loved it because I got to see a cool behind the scenes way of how sports production works. But there was this one lady, this eccentric older white woman. She was interesting. My name is Polly. It's very easy to say, Polly. She would always call me, well, will try to call me Shaniqua.
Oh my.
And here in the US, people use the names like Shaniqua and others with like they attach them to stereotypes, negative connotations. It's
Like
terrible.
Karen, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, no, no, ma'am. It's not.
My name
My
is
name is
Paul.
Polly. It's very easy to say. There's no S in my name. There's no correlation. And so it got to a point because, like, to your point, at first I was like, haha, I just like laughed it off. I was like, okay, I brushed it off, whatever. But then when she kept doing it at several different games, then I reported it to my manager at the time, and then he just made sure we didn't work another game together because she just couldn't help herself. I mean, I guess you can't just help yourself and not do that. But she continued to work. I continued to work. We just didn't work together because I'm sure he realized, okay, this is not okay. This is definitely like HR issue. So it's crazy the kind of things that we have to deal with navigating these spaces. But I'm just so glad that it did not deter you from continuing because your work is incredible. And actually, I want to get into some of your work here. It is so, I just love the way you photograph. It just feels dynamic and alive. Um, and I'm going to pull up just a few of the most recent posts. But when you are, in these moments, what are you looking for when you are trying to capture the different events that are going on? Because as I was telling some of the other panelists, like it's not like when you're in these events, these are events that are happening at like the highest level. It's insanely busy, so much going on. So what are you looking for when you are trying to capture what photographers call like the decisive moment?
Well, I'm gonna sound a bit old, and I am when I'm gonna say that when you've been doing this for so long, I kind of was done with, the classical um finish line shot, and I didn't want
Right,
that
right.
anymore. And still to that day I have to do it for the clients, but I try not to. Like if you look at the pictures, there's barely no like just running and or just the jump or I try not to get like the press shots anymore because I feel
Yeah,
like I've done that too many times and I get frustrated when doing it. And that was actually frustration that led me here because I was like, no, I'm doing the same photo, the same exact photo, just different stadiums. And I wanted to try something else, so like getting to zoom in more into details. That's not, I never invented anything, right? But I wanted to go more into like the details of it in a way and still like letting people know that this was a sports event. So you have jumps, you have screams, you have emotions, you have tiredness, you have sadness. But yeah, I try to be in places where I can get the shot that the client needs and also be able to like maybe zoom out a little and or zoom in a little and get the shot that I will use after that, and that the athletes will like more than just the hurdle passing or the crossing of the finish line or
no, it's so well done. How do you prepare differently for something like the Olympics versus maybe smaller competitions?
oh well, I cry a little or a lot first. Well, for the Olympics, wow, you have to be prepared. My first Olympics were a mess, an emotional mess, sorry. Because it was in Tokyo for during COVID-19.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah, so the stadium was empty. We had to go through testing every day. We had to be checked, the temperature checked, and I was alone. I was only doing it for 2 years, really getting into photography for like 2, 3 years at the time. And I was like, oh, what am I doing here?
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, I would cry every day on my way to the stadium. And the taxi drivers were like, are you okay? I'm like, yes.
We
And on day four, a friend of mine told me, okay, do you want it to be something that you remember as a nightmare? Or do you want to say, look, I went and I shot the Olympics. I did that. I'm that girl. I was like, I'm that girl. So I went on and yeah, I went on and finished the competition, went back and couldn't say that, couldn't realize. I never, it took me, I think, 1 year or 2 years to say, I was in Tokyo for the Olympics. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, right. And
Yes.
so when the 2024 Olympics happened, it felt like it was my first Olympics, really, because like we had people in the stadium, people would be screaming, cheering, like whenever a French athlete was presented. I've never seen that for track and field. That like I mean like the emotions that the public had. So I was trying not to get into my head too much, like, oh my God, this is my redemption time. No, get the work done. Get it done. Just do your thing. Do the same as usual. Just keep in mind that you do not have LEDs, that you do not have commercials things and everything. You will only have the rings. So try and do something with the rings, blah, the tattoos, the necklaces. So you just need to pay more attention to like the Olympic idea of it. And well, other than that, it's just another big competition. Like I would do the same thing for 2028 if I'm going. I hope so.
No, you are absolutely going. We're gonna just claim it now. We're all gonna be there, and I'm
Polly
gonna
said
talk
I'm
to you
going,
in
so I'm
person.
going. That's whenever I'm gonna fill the paper form, I'm gonna say, Polly said that I'm going, so sorry. You have to take me.
Exactly. Blame it on me. I want to talk
Oh,
about what you use, your gear. I see that you tag Sony. So, what is in your gear bag? What is in your toolkit?
Canon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I own two R5
Okay.
on 2470 and 7200 2.8. But in 2023, I had a big issue with Canon in Budapest, where we have professional service on site for big events, and so you can go and say, okay, I'm going to need this body, this lens. Can I keep it for the whole thing? Yes, no. And at this competition, Canon said, well, this is one body, one lens, one time. And I was like, well, guys, nope, please. I need like maybe something bigger, please. Yeah, I need help. And so I went to Sony and I met Guillaume, a French guy from Sony that was there, and he said, "What do you need? What do you want? What do you need?" And I said, "Okay, I'm used to this, used to that." And honestly, it filled my locker with everything that I could need, like working me through the software, like the placements of the
Yeah.
buttons, everything.
Yeah.
So if you walk like hand in hand with
That's
Guillaume, he
amazing.
helped me, like he showed me life. And ever since, for big events, I work with Sony gear. And for my, like for flag football, for example, I go and use my own gear. But honestly, the people at Sony are so nice, and like to balance, I mean, just to add to that, the gear is
Yeah.
amazing. The gear is spectacular. The like honestly, when I look at the photos from Poland, I'm like, oh, all of that, you can see that much. with this gear. Wow, I'm good. I'm actually good. No, it's the gear, but the gear is good. So I work with Sony on bigger events, and I own Canon.
No, I'm just so glad that they stepped up to give you what you need. Like that way you can actually, because it gets to a point where you need more from your gear. And when it gets to that point, yes, you need to invest in more and it's expensive. Or you need to have brands so you can be like, hey, here's something you can utilize where you can get the best photos. And they looked amazing. I just switched over to a flag football work because you shoot across track and field, football, and flag football. Does your approach shift depending on the sport?
Yes, yes, yes.
Talk to me how you approach flag football. Because again, like I told you before we got on, I was like, wait, there's a flag football championships. Like this is amazing. I don't know any other Black women photographing flag football, so I'm just so excited for you to talk to us about this.
Well, flag football, for one thing, it's really different from track and field because, track and field, I'm really used to have, okay, lane 5, 10, 10. You have to shoot this guy. Okay, then
Right,
you shot put,
right.
then it 10:30 you is throwing seventh position. Then you go to the pole vault. And then I come to the flag football and I'm like, okay, what time the game starts? Oh, we don't know. Oh, the things are more chill. People are more chill. Everything is like we're cool. We're cool. They're taking the sports very seriously. That's not the question, but everything is cool. No stress, no just be careful of the ball or just make sure nobody like bumps too hard into you. But honestly, when I come to the flag football, I'm literally not stressed at all, not being like, oh my God, I'm not gonna get the shots, oh blah blah blah. My only concern at flag football is my focus that cannot fall
Mm.
all the time. So after each game, send them the okay, so this one could have been great, but my camera decided that it would not be. So yeah, it's really for me it's like rediscovering the pleasure that I had going to track and field at
Yeah.
first. So
So
yeah.
I love that. So do you find so then do you find yourself like trying things like more creatively then?
Well, I'm trying because at the moment, I'm really working with a team, the one that
Mm.
you're showcasing. So
Okay.
I feel like we're like almost towards the end of the season, but I sometimes like I've already done that picture, so let me try something else. And I feel like yeah, I have more creative freedom. Definitely,
Mm.
because, well, I'm the one giving the photos. I do not have someone saying, we want this, we want the touchdowns, we want that, blah, blah. So they get what I give them, and they're super excited about whenever I send the link, they're like, oh my God, thank you so much. So I feel like, yeah, I can do more and I can do pretty much whatever I want. And that's nice to have this much freedom on an assignment. So.
That is amazing. Whether it's like flag football or at the biggest stage, the Olympics, how do you handle the pressure of knowing that certain moments won't happen twice?
Um, I just try and make sure that I am at the right moment at the right time. Honestly, it happens so many times in track and field, like, with Duplantis, whenever he's jumping, you never know what he's going to do or what
Mhm.
scream is going to give you, or the long jump with Tara, you never know. So just I try before the session starts to have a really good look at the timetable
Mhm.
and just okay, so this girl usually she does that. Okay, he always
Mhm.
does this after his race or his jump or that. So I try really hard to like not miss anything. And
Mhm.
well, the other persons are luck. Honestly, and when when you're used to like shooting sports for a while, you kind of know how things can unfold. So I try. I try. And if I miss it, well, I miss it. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, if the client really wants that picture, it can still go to AP, Getty or whatever to get the photo. But I mean, if I was at the finish line, I can get whatever was happening at the other end of the stadium. So you choose finish line, you cannot ask me to have something else. I wasn't there, so
Right. No, no, that is such a good point. When it comes to these big stages, what is something people don't see about what it takes to, photograph at the Olympics or the World Championships?
Ooh, the one thing people don't see is the steps on your watch at the end of the day.
I could only imagine the workout.
The rubbing of the shoulders,
Oh man,
the rubbing of the neck, the back. I'm not
I
gonna
just got
continue the
tired.
song. I'm not gonna continue the song, but like
I know this
the hurt, the just general pain
one.
in your body at the end of the day. And yeah, people are like, why don't we have the picture yet? Well, you may have it, you may not have downloaded it yet, or can I just go home, work on it, and send it to you? Because, our work doesn't stop when the session stops. It's when our continue. It
Yeah.
continues to go, and then we're only done at the late nights of the hours
Mhm.
of the night, sorry. So yeah, they don't see that. They don't see that we have to fight for spots. They don't see that people run in the trenches like to go from one place to another. They don't see gear bumping and then you have like these major bruises on your thighs because someone bumped
Mhm.
into you with a big lens. They don't see people fighting for cables.
Mhm.
They don't see a lot of things, but we would not complain if we didn't want that we wouldn't be doing this job if we didn't want to. So complaints are just part of it, but we like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there a particular moment or image that has stayed with you?
Um, I feel like 2024 Olympics, Tara and Hunter, like the hug.
That photo that you mentioned, like the Black Women Photographers Award, I absolutely love that photo. I'm so happy that you were the recipient of the award.
Thanks. Honestly, this one, for once I was sitting in the like the I was sitting. I was not standing or suffering. I was sitting, watching the competition, shooting, and then I said, okay, so her husband is there. Keep that in mind. And blah blah blah. She's jumped. Yoo-hoo, okay, she goes, and I look at the picture and say, did I do that? Did I really just did that? And I was like, oh, haha, I like this one. Because I feel like not many people have it, unlike Mondo in Paris when he does the shooting um, thing that the Turkish athlete did. So we were a lot of photographers. Oh, I love it. I did that. I
Yes,
did
you
that.
did.
That's me. I did that. Yay. So yeah, I really like this one because we weren't too many. It wasn't too many of photographers surrounding me, so may not have we may not be a lot to have it. I've seen other pictures taken from the same perspective, but this one, it's just me.
This is it. I absolutely love it. Oh, it is. And I'm sure if I were them, I would have it framed in my house. Like, absolutely love it.
I mean, if you
Um,
have a DM or a contact, I can always sign it for them if they want to.
oh, that is such a sweet idea. That's a good idea. I love that idea. Um, what would your advice be for those who want to break in? Like, what is something that they should do today to break into sports? What could they be doing right now?
look for, try and do as many sports as you can. Just uh let not focus just on one sports. Go ahead, try track and field, basketball, our football, so that would be soccer, um, hand, yeah, volleyball, handball, everything that has ball at the end of it. Go ahead and try it because you might be shooting track and field, but be more happy shooting basketball. And if you are at the beginning of your career, just try and explore as much as you can, explore before having people saying, I want that shot, I want this, I want that. If you are breaking in, just go ahead, have fun, be respectful. This is really important. Be respectful towards the other photographers, to the people, the athletes, the people working at the meets that you will be attending, or the match. Just be careful, be respectful, and have fun. Have fun. Do not be afraid of messing. Do not be afraid of forgetting your cards or your batteries, because that happens still to that day. Do not be afraid of, oh, I thought I had my hard drive. I don't have it. Damn. Okay, well, happens.
Right.
That just things happen. Do not be afraid to break your SD cards, because that happens too. So, yeah, go ahead, have fun, explore, be respectful, and just enjoy. Enjoy. And if you like it, stay around and maybe we can work together someday. So,
And one thing going back to the technical side of things real quick, the one thing I didn't ask you, because but I love is the way you color grade. Talk to me about your decision, like your editing process.
well, it was a nightmare for me. Like maybe 2 years ago, I was at this point where I didn't like anything anymore. Oh no, I don't like this type of editing. This is not me. This is blah. And I went and like tried again on Lightroom, and I finally found this that to me is vibrant but not too saturated, and has nice blacks, nice whites, that doesn't like hard is not too harsh on skin colors, or I think that I found it now, and when I don't like it, I just go and use the good old black and white. But I'm really, really, really a big fan of masking. I do that, well, not later than this afternoon. I was editing photos that I took yesterday, and I was just be mask, 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 and redoing the skin color and everything. So this is not something that, the style that I had a few years back is not the one that I have today. And looking back at old pictures, I'm like, oh, nope, nope, nope. So yeah, I try I like, like on this one, I like the orange. I like this arena is the
Mm.
worst. Like the lighting is every year we tell them like, guys, please, please, because we have greens, we have yellow, the lights of, so usually I use black and white on this one, but this year I figured that I would be using my usual editing, and that I like this one, the vibrance, but not too harsh.
Love it. It's so moody, it feels cinematic in a way. And even like when you do turn things in black and white, I love it as well.
Honestly, black and white is my go-to when I don't know where it's going. When I'm trying one editing, I'm trying another one. I'm like, you know what? Nobody cares. I'm gonna use black and white. People will love it. So black and white's my good friend, honestly.
Are you using like Adobe Lightroom and Photoshop?
I'm using only Lightroom. I started on Photoshop because I thought that was that would make me a real photographer in 2017. I left Photoshop real quick. In a blink of an eye, I left Photoshop to Lightroom. And I'm using actually Lightroom Creative Cloud. So I feel like a lot of people hate it. I don't know why they like the classic one. But just because I work a lot on my iPad, and to be able to work on my iPad, I need the Creative Cloud one. So, well, I like it, and they really like stepped up on the whole the software, really adding more features, and it's really it's really nice. I like it better than the classic. For me, classic is like, oh, it's scary. There's a lot of, I don't know where everything goes. So I'm good with Creative Cloud.
Is there a particular like workflow in terms of like organizing your photos? Because managing, I mean, thousands and thousands. I was telling this in the other panel, but with Maria, she, you know, I'm sure you saw her recap. She said she like shot like 19,000 photos from the world. It's like that is so crazy to think about. So how do you manage that amount of photos?
Well, let's say that I give a lot of money to the hard drive industry.
I love
I bought a new hard drive right before the Worlds. That's honestly, I feel like I'm the worst in terms of workflow. Um well, I made progress. So whenever I shoot, I at the end of the session, I take my camera and I have a FTP server. So I uh, select my pictures and then I send them to the FTP and I take them so I can then empty my cards on my hard drive and start working on my pictures, the pictures that I selected. But where I'm the worst person is that I transfer everything that's on the card. I do not like keep a few photos or the one that I selected, everything, the missed ones, the photos that I accidentally took when running to another place and having my finger on the button. Like I keep everything, and I've been saying for at least a year that I need to go back to my old hard drives and clean them, but I still haven't found the time, and I honestly, I don't want to do it, but I have no choice because I can keep buying five uh, TB hard drives.
Listen, I cannot wait to get a sponsor. So like
Yeah.
you said, how? I just cannot keep up with it. I don't have the time. I don't have the money to keep buying more, but it is hard. It is so hard.
Honestly, I really like envy people who would just say, well, I have 50 photos. I'm fine with that. I'm fine. Let's format the whole thing and go on with our lives. I honestly, I look at those people like, wow, how do you live? How do you live like that? This is crazy. I wish I could. I need to hold on to everything. And, you know, when you're mid sessions, you do not have time to say, okay, this one stays. You go, you stay, you go. You just like select everything, go to the hard drive. Let me take my card. I needed to go back again this afternoon. Is this honestly, whenever I look at my hard drives, I'm like, why? Why so expensive? Why do you take all my money? Why did I choose this job in the first place?
I chose the most expensive hobby, I feel like.
That that's what I say, tell everyone, like this is the job that you have to pay for. You have to pay for to be able to work. That's crazy. You need to pay for your gear, you need to pay for your bag, you need to pay for your software, you need to pay for your hard drives and cards and please help us, sponsor us. Hi guys.
I cannot believe we're almost at time. I told you it goes by so quick, didn't I? Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Um, I know we talked so much already about like just like personally like the day to day and how taxing and everything can be. So for you, how do you like rest? How do you, you know, fill up your cup, recharge, especially after coming from something so taxing like a championships or Olympics?
Well, I have the chance to have all my weekends booked with flag football, so I try and rest the on the week, and this week was a bit well running a lot because I was not there the weekend for the world, so blah blah blah. And yesterday I was working, so and I'm working tomorrow very early too. So I try really really hard to keep a sleeping schedule that's acceptable, not socially, but like for my body acceptable. I try and not to wake up too late in the day, and I try to work a lot, work at least a few hours every day, just on the website or and like making
We're gonna have both our websites ready by the next Olympics.
2028. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
To
Hopefully,
hold each other accountable in
I will
2020.
DM you. My website is online, so I don't know where yours is, but you need to hurry because mine is online. It's not, but it will be 2028. Stay tuned. So yeah, I try to work a little. Whenever I'm not shooting, I try to work. I try to look at the next events that are going to be happening. Okay, so are the credentials open yet? Okay, well, do I have something at this? Oh no, okay, I can apply for that. Also, I started shooting concerts. So this is a yay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I try to find concerts, and applying for that is another handful because who are you going to be working for? Well, it's just for me now to be able to shoot better, bigger concerts. Oh yeah, no, sorry. Oh, you need a press card. Oh, you need this. Oh. So well, it takes a lot of time to get rejected anyway, but I feel like I'm doing a good job. I'm at the end of them like, I did good. And the next day,
Yeah.
oh, did rejected. Nope, nope. Okay, let's do it again tomorrow. Yay.
So funny that we are signing up for this. But like what you said earlier though, it's like it's so cool what we're doing though. Like it makes it all worth it. The highs, the lows, no day is the same. And for me, like it doesn't get any better than this personally.
Yeah, honestly, whenever I meet new people and I say, "Oh, I'm a photographer," oh, wow. Well, it's not always like that, but yeah, wow, yeah, I'm a photographer, yay. And yeah, I mean, a lot of my friends are like, "But do you realize that you go to work like in Tokyo for the Olympics, for the World Championships?" I'm like, no, not really. I know that I'm going there for work, but it never clicks that I'm actually doing my job whenever I go there. It still feels like weird, honestly, but we have an amazing job.
My last question for you, some on the same kind of sentiment, what does it mean, for you to be creating as a Black woman on your own terms?
Whew, it's honestly it feels like I'm not alone in this. It feels like there's a whole army of Black creatives like walking behind me and like pushing me and telling me, okay, no, you're not backing down. Nope, you do not shut up about this situation. No, this is not okay. You go, you go. And I feel like really having like this human chain going, and whenever I see something like happening to a person of color or Black woman, like I have examples in press media centers and everything. uh, I cannot stay silent. I have to speak up. I have to say, okay, nope, nope. Or whenever other photographers have comments to make about athletes' bodies, or, oh, she's black, so ha ha. What do you mean, ha ha ha? What's funny? What are you saying? So I feel like it's an everyday. I'm not gonna say struggle because it's not a struggle. It's a everyday fight. Every day that we have to speak up, and I never let the chance to someone say a joke because it's funny to joke about someone's color or ethnicities or wherever they came from and blah blah blah. So honestly, with Black women photographers, I feel like I'm not alone in this anymore. And on the day-to-day life, I just like am a big vocal advocate for the cause. So we got
Well,
this.
thank you. I and truly thank you so much for all you do to advocate the incredible work you're creating. I'm so excited for what's to come for you, and I cannot wait. One day in 2020, well, before 2028, next time I'm in France, I'm gonna definitely reach out to you. And so thank you, Solène, so much. This has been such a great conversation. And please get some rest. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna keep on wiping my nose. But thank you so much, Polly. Thank you
Oh,
for
well,
having me.
I mean, I wish I looked like you when I'm sick. I really do. I wish I looked
What
like
you
that.
don't see is that I have my makeup bag and that at 7:30 in France I was like, I need to look I need to look good for the cameras, please.
Solène, thank you again so
Thank you
much.
so much, Polly. Thank you.
Bye.